Pfizer could apply for full FDA approval of its COVID vaccine as early as this month, and Moderna could follow soon after. Experts say that status change would have several important impacts, including on vaccine mandates. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth to explain the effects.
When it comes to the COVID-19 vaccines, there is a difference between one that's FDA authorized and one that's FDA approved. Currently, the three vaccines on the market only have an emergency use authorization, or an EUA.
It's a much faster process.
Consumer advocate Dr. Sidney Wolf says an EUA is a shortcut that allows drug makers to submit less safety data during an emergency. In this case, companies had to track volunteers for about 2 months after vaccination. But to get full approval, they'll need 6 months of data, the same standard the FDA has had for years. And Dr. Wolf thinks that'll make a difference for people who may still feel hesitant about the vaccine.
But I think that these concerns would be lessened if they were told, we now have 6 months of follow-up on this vaccine, which means we're more comfortable with how long it lasts, how effective it is, and how safe it is.
Both Pfizer and Moderna say they now have 6 months of data. Companies want full approval for several reasons. Once the pandemic is no longer considered an official emergency, only fully approved products can stay on the market. And Dr. Wolf says that stamp of approval adds valuable credibility.
Aside from what benefit for marketing it does in this country, it will clearly have an international benefit.
There's a lot of legal debate right now about whether companies or colleges can require a vaccine that only has emergency authorization. But once a vaccine has full approval, it's clear they can. Some employers already require the flu vaccine. The status change could also affect the experimental vaccines still under development from companies like San Diego-based Arcturus or Inovio. Federal law says companies can only get emergency authorization for their shot if there is no adequate approved and available alternative.
There's a lot of vaccines still in the pipeline, and it may be harder for those ones that are early in development to eventually get EUA authorization if there is an approved option.
To get new vaccines on the market on an emergency basis, companies would suddenly need to show their candidates were better at tackling variants or better for certain populations like people with drug allergies. Typically, it takes the FDA about 6 months to review a licensure application for a high-priority drug. Pfizer says it expects a decision from the FDA on full approval in the second half of this year. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Experts say Pfizer and Moderna may have enough data to get full approval in the coming months for adult use, but approval in kids will take longer because those studies started later.